مشاهدينا الكرام، برحب بحضراتكم معنا. وانطلق مهرجان القاهرة السينمائي الدولي في دورته رقم 39، والحقيقة ان احنا محظوظين في هذه الدورة لان هناك العديد من نجوم العالم المشاركين في هذا المهرجان، من بينهم الممثلة الإنجليزية والموديل الإنجليزية إليزابيث هيرلي. We'd like to welcome the English actress and model Elizabeth Hurley, aka Liz Hurley. We're glad to have you.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
The pleasure is ours. This is not your first time to Egypt. You've been to Luxor last year, right?
I did. I had a very short tourist visit to Luxor and just thought it was the most unbelievable place I think I've ever seen in my life. Staggering.
What did you like most there?
I just felt that the feeling, the antiquity of where we were was just unbelievable. I loved it. Just imagining all the little feet that had been walking those streets so many years before. I hadn't been prepared for the splendor and the magnificence of it. Just astonishing.
Yeah. Two things people love most about Luxor and Aswan as well: the sun and the positivity of the Nile there. The Nile there, we feel it gives us positive energy. Did you really feel that?
Well, I was lucky to go on a boat and have a little trip, and yes, it was actually felt very serene. It was a very quiet time in Luxor when I was there, very hot. Very few people there, so we really got to see things without crowds, without a lot of other tourists. And it was a treat. It was one of my favorite trips I've ever done.
Planning to go back sometime?
I would love to go back because
you said it's a short trip. It was a short
trip.
That
was a very short trip. That was just a day. And since being there, I've read up much more about it, so I feel if I could go back second time, I would know a little bit more about what I was actually seeing. We had a very good guide, but so, you know, it's always nice to have a little more knowledge before you see something fabulous.
So actually you read about Luxor after you left?
Sort of, yes.
And did you feel
on my phone as I were there.
Yeah, and did you feel like I was there?
Yes, a little bit.
Because there are a lot of stories about Luxor.
Yeah, but we have the most unbelievable souvenir pictures that we took there, which are some of the best I've ever taken. It was just amazing. I loved it.
And now this is your first time to Cairo.
It's my second time to Cairo.
Second time to Cairo.
But sadly, this is a very short trip, and my last one was a short trip, so I still haven't seen the unbelievable sights of Cairo. That's going to have to be third trip.
I can't believe you've been to Cairo twice and you didn't visit the pyramids.
I have not. I know, it's shocking.
Yeah. And what's wrong with the short trips to Egypt? Why always short?
I know. Busy times working, but another time it'd be wonderful to come back as a tourist in a baseball cap.
We're looking forward to that. What are you expecting out of Cairo International Film Festival? First, did you ever watch it before? Did you ever know about it?
I haven't. I'd heard of it, but I haven't seen it. So to actually be here for the opening ceremony of, I think it's your 39th year, exactly. Isn't it? It's a treat. The opening of a film festival is always so special, and you know, each country has such a sense of culture that comes through in these ceremonies. And of course, once the festival kicks in, you're seeing both domestic and international product, and it's filmmakers who love their craft, and they're wonderful people to speak to and hear from. But I think on the opening ceremony, like in Cannes, it's very French. So I'm expecting it to be very Egyptian, whatever that means. I'm ready for it tonight.
I don't think you'll see a lot of pharaohs over there.
Oh, okay.
But I hope it's going to be great.
I think so.
But you're only attending the opening? You're not going to watch some movies?
We're going to see a movie tonight. But sadly, yes, it'll just be the ceremony and the movie and the opening party that I'm going to today. Okay.
Did you ever before watch any Egyptian movie? No?
I don't think I have, because I'd have to watch it with subtitles, which is acceptable. And we have some wonderful art cinemas in London where you can watch it. But I haven't. But I would like to. What should I see? Well, obviously I know what I should see.
I'll tell you now. You know, two of the movies you starred, Austin Powers and Bedazzled, were great hits here in Egypt when they were screened, okay? And actually, we have the Egyptian version of Bedazzled. It's called Tirenta. I think this one, you have to watch it.
I would like to. Is there a special reason why you think I should watch that
Well,
film?
actually, my wife starred in that movie, so maybe this is why. But definitely, if she wasn't the star of the movie as well, I would love that you watch it so you see the difference between what you did and
I'm going to watch it.
Yeah?
I would love to watch it. It'll be brilliant. Yeah.
And you know what? We have a very famous comedian. He's the one who played your role in Bedazzled, the devil. Okay,
right.
his name is.
Your wife doesn't play the
Magda
devil.
Kidwani. No, she's not playing the devil.
Oh.
Yeah, she's playing another character.
Oh, I see.
But you know what? This movie, not because my wife started, but it was a huge hit in the Egyptian cinema.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, of course, in the very original one, my part was a man. Hollywood made me a girl, but it's interesting you went back to being a man for the devil.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
You should watch it.
I shall.
I'll show it to you on Google when you do so. Okay. So you didn't get to watch any Egyptian movies?
Not yet, but that's a treat in store.
But now you're planning to?
Of course.
Did you ever read or know about the Egyptian cinema? Especially, you know, our cinema was always a huge hit back in the 60s and 70s.
Well, of course, I think at that time, if I'm speaking as an American, which of course I'm not, I'm English, but if I was speaking as an American, I would say international cinema. It was fantastic in the 60s. You know, if out of Italy, out of Egypt, out of many countries, fabulous films, and it seemed to be more embracing at that time that there was more international product that travelled. Sadly now, I don't think that's the case as much, and apart from some very few movies which might be, you know, up for an Academy Award in the international category, it's more difficult now to go to a proper movie house in America or in the UK and see original language movies with subtitles. It's quite difficult. In America, there are really only a handful of cinemas that show those movies, and I think that's a shame, because I think it's, as filmmakers, for us to see international product is fantastic. I don't like watching dubbed movies at all. I much prefer them with subtitles, so you can actually hear the real actors and the intonation of their voice, even though, of course, we don't understand what they're saying. So I think it's a shame. So I hope there are more glory days ahead for the Egyptian cinema.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see more films travel.
But I totally second that it's really sad, because if we compare between 1960s and 70s, and we look now how everything is much easier and the world is a small place, it's really questionable why everyone is not watching the movies of other cultures and other countries. Why do you think?
Well, it'll be to do with the distributors and whether they can take enough money at the cinema for them to have, you know, to have the movie.
Yeah.
So it will be, I guess, it needs better word of mouth to tell people. I mean, it happens sometimes. There are always breakthrough international movies that people do see, but they are not so common. And I think American people don't really like subtitles much.
You don't like it much?
I'm not American.
Yeah,
I'm fine with
subtitles. I said they don't like it much.
I don't think they like it so much.
What about English people?
We're fine with subtitles. Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, we're quite used to it. But perhaps not the younger generation. I don't think they've had much of it. So it's probably about re-educating people because I don't think dubbing is so nice, really. I think it is about re-educating people into, they have to put their phones down, because if they don't look at the screen, they're going to miss the subtitles. Yeah. So it will be about making it more of a cinematic experience, where you actually really do have to concentrate in the darkened room, which is how I like to watch even television. I like to watch it in the darkened room, in silence. I hate people talking if I'm watching.
Yeah, I hate that as well.
Hate it.
Yeah, so much. So actually, the young people in England, in London, when they go to the cinema, they usually have their phones. They keep on looking on the phones.
Yeah.
Oh, really? People are crazy with the phones like we have here in Egypt?
I think it's an epidemic.
Everybody's looking down now.
I know.
Yeah?
Yes.
It's an epidemic worldwide, do you think?
Yes. And a doctor told me that an awful lot of people are going to have terrible necks and chins.
Yeah?
Because they sit like this the whole time.
Exactly. So how are you using the social media?
Well, I think when used properly, social media is just fantastic, and I love it. I like it on a non-public eye point of view. I like watching my friends. I mean, it's a bit like being a stalker, but it does mean, because I travel all the time and I don't necessarily, you know, see all my friends all the time, I know what they've been doing and I can keep up with them that way. I think when you're using it in a positive way, it's actually fantastic. Yeah. Of course, there are monsters who use social media and are full of hate, but they're really few and far between. I haven't had any bad experiences with people.
This is great.
The odd creep, I block, they're gone. And on the whole, I have great interaction with fans and with people who want to support charities I might be supporting or telling them about stuff I'm doing. And I think it's fab. For me, it's a great medium to talk to people, but I don't abuse it. I don't look at it for hours a day.
Yeah, that was my next question.
Of course I
Are you
don't.
addicted as much as
Absolutely
other people
not.
are?
No,
you're
I'm
not.
No.
So you're enjoying life.
I am. I mean,
you're not enjoying only the social media.
No, not at all. No. I mean, it's partly business for me, but I enjoy, the friendly aspect of it. No, I would say 10 minutes a day. Is that allowed?
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Just 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, this is terrific.
Is it?
Because usually people spend hours and hours on social media.
Oh, good God, no.
Yeah?
No, never.
Yeah, actually, if we're talking about Egypt, here the young people, minimum, I think, if we're talking about average, the average would be like 3 hours, 2 hours, not less than that.
I don't have 3 hours to give to my phone. Sadly, no. I'm a single mother and I work full time, so no, I don't have.
Despite the fact that you use it also for business.
Yeah, but it doesn't take long to post a picture. Well, that takes 1 second.
Okay.
So I'm still getting, 9 minutes, 59 seconds of fun. But yeah, no, it's, I flick the news. Sometimes I get a lot of my news from my Twitter feed because I'll follow, whether it's the BBC or CNN or Huffington Post, whatever I want to follow.
Yeah.
And I'll
now you should follow
normally flick
DMC, huh?
Of course.
Yeah, please.
So then I'll flick and get some of the headlines from that. But otherwise, I'm not really very interested in that.
Do you always take the news on social media for granted? Do you feel it's always credible enough?
Well, I would hope from the sources from which I'm reading it, it should be, because I'm only really following whether it's the Times or Sky News or whatever. So as far as it's the same news that's being broadcast, it's not being written by some lunatic in a basement in Minnesota. I mean, it is the news. So yes, I'm assuming most of that is right.
And what was the last thing you read about Egypt before you come to Cairo?
Well, it's funny you say that because my son is doing ancient history. He's 15.
Really?
And they have their big exams this year at school.
He's 15?
He's 15.
Okay.
And in his ancient history, Cleopatra is one of the 3 people he's studying. So for the whole of the last 2 weeks, I've been testing him on Cleopatra. So actually, I've been deeply immersed in your ancient history and loving it.
This is really interesting.
Yeah, it's been fantastic.
Speaking of your son, how was it when you two worked together in The Royal, the series?
Well, it's fantastic. So I've been doing it for 4 years now. And for the first 2 years, he used to come because we shoot right over the summer vacation from school. So he comes to work with me every day and loves it. He couldn't be happier. But so for 2 years, he was my son. He was like the pet of the set and he was always there. And then the writer very kindly wrote him a part for season 3. He played Prince Hansel von Liechtenstein, who's a reality TV star, but also an aristocrat. And he played it beautifully, and then this year he comes back again, and I have lots of scenes with him, and I love it. It's enchanting.
And he's enjoying it.
He loves it,
and
he's good.
He's good.
He is good, and I'd say
this is from a mother's point of view, or from the audience point of view?
No, he's good.
He's good.
He can do it. Yeah.
And is this the path he's planning to carry on with?
Well, it's early days.
Yeah, he's still 15.
No parents want to put their children on the stage. We'd all rather that they were, very successful bankers or lawyers. But I don't think that's going to happen. He loves movies.
So you as a parent don't wish that your son becomes a famous actor?
If he were an actor, the fame is less important than getting great parts. I'd love him to feel good about himself. I'd love him to have challenges. I'd love him to play parts that are hard for him. That's what we all want for ourselves. I mean, some people might care about fame. I don't care about that. I like to have something that makes me excited to go to work for every day. Yeah. And I've been pretty lucky. So for him, I'd like him to just feel satisfied in what he does. And if that's being, in movies, star or not, I hope he gets great parts.
I hope so. And what are your future plans regarding movies, other series, or you're just focusing on the beachwear now?
Well, right now, we're waiting to see if we get picked up for a 5th season of our show, The Royals. So, we're all signed up, and it'll be at the studio's discretion. But season 4 hasn't even aired yet. So we're in a holding pattern, which we have been for 4 years, whilst we wait to see that. So I'd like to do another project before we may or may not start season 5, but we don't really know. So we have various time constrictions about what we're allowed to do and what we're not allowed to do.
Okay.
I'm definitely not going to shoot anything before Christmas, but there's something I might do in the spring before we started The Royals again, if we start The Royals again.
Okay. Other than The Royals?
Yeah.
a series or a movie?
It's a movie, but I can't. Yeah, we're not allowed to do other series whilst we're contracted to another one.
Definitely.
We're allowed to do a few bits in somebody else's as a guest star, but we're allowed to do movies if there's no question of them running into the time in which we start the TV again. Okay. So it is a little difficult with time.
So but, we should expect a movie soon.
I'm hoping there's something nice I can do. Yeah, there is something nice. It's just whether the dates work.
Okay, hopefully. And how's the beachwear line going?
The beachwear line is
you were just
fabulous.
in Maldives?
I was just in the Maldives.
Yeah?
Yeah,
because
with my son.
On Instagram, I think you were showing off some of the swimming suits, right?
Yes, I have to. I'm selling them. Yes. Yeah. We had a great holiday in the Maldives for my son's half term, which is when they get a break in the middle of term. The business is great. I mean, we've been going for 10 years now, and it's quite established. It's still very small. It's owned by me. It's not owned by anybody else. It's not a license. Okay. And it's great. I started it when my son was young because I wanted not to have to film all the time. But once he was 8, of course, then I started filming again. But I find I can still do the beachwear business very well, and I love it doing it.
Interesting. And did you enjoy Maldives? Definitely.
I love the Maldives.
It's nice, huh?
I just love it. I feel once you've been there, it's hard to go anywhere else for a beach holiday.
But it's more like a relaxing mood. I mean,
men find it really boring.
The nightlife?
No, there is no nightlife. There's no nightlife.
Okay.
No. It's all about lying on a lounger in the shade with a drink and a book. That's it. If you don't like that, don't go.
Yeah,
but if you like that, and then of course people love to scuba dive. It's got fantastic diving. I don't dive, but it's got fantastic diving. It's got great water sports. But no, it's about relaxing.
Yeah, but excuse me, when you're talking about diving here in the Red Sea, in Sharm el-Sheikh, in Hurghada, it's amazing down there. It's
my ex-husband used to dive here, and he said it was fantastic.
You should try it one time.
I don't dive.
At least snorkeling.
I
can watch it from the surface.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, and you know what? In Maldives, you said, and it is true, that there's no nightlife. Now you are in the extreme opposite, because you are in the city that never sleeps.
Really?
24 hours you can find something to do in Cairo.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
Well, I don't leave for the airport till 6:15 a.m., so okay.
Okay, but you promised there's a long visit next time. Either to Cairo, Luxor, Aswan, Sharm el-Sheikh, Hurghada, maybe all together, why not?
A tour,
yeah.
Yes. A grand tour.
You have to.
Why not?
Yeah, there's a lot to see here.
Sounds good.
Let's shift to another thing, which is the breast cancer awareness.
Yes.
You've been working with that, I think, for 15 years so far?
Just over 20.
20?
Yeah.
Okay. Other than raising the awareness, what was your goal and your main goal out of this campaign?
We were always split. We were raising awareness and raising funds, because when I started working for the Estee Lauder companies 22 years ago, Evelyn Lauder, who was Estee Lauder's daughter-in-law, came to me and she said, would you help me with a foundation I've just started? And I said, yes, of course. What is it? And she said, well, women all over the world are dying of breast cancer and no one is talking about it, and I want to change that. And that was what she started to do. She raised money. They've now raised more than $750 million for the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. And with the breast cancer campaign, which the Estee Lauder companies run, we've been raising awareness. We've been lighting buildings pink. She invented the pink ribbon 25 years ago. Yeah. And it is now a symbol of hope, and everybody knows about breast cancer. But when she told me about it, I realized that we didn't know anything about breast cancer. At that time, we would never, sitting here now, be talking about breast cancer.
True.
There was no pink ribbon. There were no magazines talking about breast cancer. Nobody spoke about breast health. Nobody spoke about statistics, because my grandmother had just died of breast cancer when Evelyn approached me. And she didn't talk about breast cancer. She didn't tell us about her treatment. She didn't tell her doctor she'd found a lump. She didn't talk about it at all, because she was very scared, because she didn't know about it. So we've been educating people over the last, for 25 years for them, for 22 for me, as well as raising money. And we really feel that now enormous strides have been made in research. Many more people are surviving breast cancer. 95% of people diagnosed will survive now if they're treated early, which is all part of the awareness campaign, which means be aware of your breasts.
True, true. And the good thing about it as well is that now a lot of ladies are aware to always have a checkup, just to make sure that everything is fine.
And not be scared, because if you find it early, there's an enormous chance you'll survive.
True.
If you don't find it early, the odds aren't so good.
You said people are more aware now about it.
Yes.
Do you think this is a fact in the US, in London, or are you talking worldwide?
Well, I think in the developing countries, there's still a lot of work to do. there are, you know, in some cultures it's still a little more difficult to say the word breast, to have the word breast on a magazine cover, on a new show. There are still barriers to break through, but we're working at it.
So are you planning to move in some parts of the world, especially in developing countries, to raise more awareness regarding this?
Well, we've done some, and yes, we are. We've done some. I did a trip to India where we lit a beautiful building pink and we gave out pink ribbons, and I gave interviews and talked about breast cancer. It was a little difficult for some people to hear that, but we felt we broke through, and we found researchers in all parts of the world, not just England and America. So yes, I think it is a global movement, and I think it's spreading, and I think it's what people want to hear and need to hear, because everybody knows someone that's had breast cancer. And, you know, for me, men have been as involved as women, because, you know, they have wives and mothers and daughters.
True.
In fact, 1% of all breast cancers are actually found in men. And that's I know, it's
really?
a very new thing, and I didn't know that when I started
That's new,
either.
I didn't know it.
It is a fact. I've met several men who have had mastectomies and who have had breast cancer.
Okay, that's surprising.
And they don't all survive.
So men have to do checkup as well?
It would appear that that is a growing concern, yeah.
Okay, that's surprising.
It's groundbreaking news.
Yeah.
I was shocked too.
Yeah.
We do a lot of personal appearances where we're raising money, and I'll sign product and people will buy product and take a pink ribbon. And normally when I see a man in the line, I know he's going to tell me that his mother has breast cancer. And a man came up to me, and I was braced because I knew he would have a sad story. And he said, I have breast cancer. And at that time, it was very shocking to me, because I'd never, ever met a man with a direct experience. They all had such sad and moving stories about their daughters, mothers, sisters. But this was him. And apparently it's a very hard thing to talk about, because men don't have breasts.
This I think needs another campaign, because definitely this will be surprising to a lot of people who are watching us now.
Well, it's only 1% of diagnosed breast cancers today, and obviously people are watching to see if that percentage is going to rise.
After raising awareness, do you think the amount of women worldwide who figure out they have breast cancer, the percentage has been decreasing a little bit?
More breast cancer has been diagnosed, but less women are dying.
Okay.
So treatment has improved, prevention measures have improved, diagnosis has improved, so it's being caught earlier, which is perhaps the rise in diagnosis, because more people are coming forward and through finding a lump themselves or through going for regular mammograms. So on the whole, the improvements have been great, but I've spoken to many of these research scientists that we fund, and they know they can find a cure, but they just need more funding.
Okay.
It's as simple as that. More hours.
Yeah, okay. I'm a little bit shocked with the news about men still. I would like to thank you so much, because I really enjoyed this a lot.
Me too.
And actually, I have a very good conclusion out of this interview, that we have had a couple of promises, that you are coming back to Egypt very soon in a long trip, that you are going to follow DMC on Twitter, and maybe my account as well would be nice.
Then you must tell me about it, yes. And I'm going to watch Bedazzled in
Arabic. It's
in
called
Arabic.
Tir Enta.
Okay.
I'm going to show it to you right after we end.
You bet.
Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy your time here in Cairo
Thank you.
during this short visit, and we're really looking forward to have you in a very long trip here in Egypt, because there's a lot to enjoy.
You bet. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you so much.